welcome back to Second Take Movies, the podcast where we give movies a second look, a second chance, second take, if you will. I'm your host, Preston Jenkinson, and joining me on the day that Johnny was set free from Amber Heard and got his justice is Jake Twito.
Now you've ruined it. Dun, 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 dun. Amber the turd is going into a debt. $2 million, he made 15. Johnny Depp is great, he is great, he is great. Hans Zimmer's really sad somewhere. But
So basically, she's just got to give him like $13 million, you know?
yeah, she countersued for $100 million.
She did. Well, I mean, he wanted 50. So, I mean, he didn't get his whole thing, which she doesn't have that much. She doesn't have $50 million.
Yeah. On the way upstairs to record this, I was late because my wife was telling me, oh, he lost. I mean, she lost. This is what happened. And I was like, I knew she lost and I forgot to look it up. Oh, my God.
The whole world knew.
But you know what? Hey, this sucks, man. This is the ending. It's been great talking with you this every week. And here on...
We've only been a week behind every week.
You heard the word. It's been a good podcast run.
The day this comes out, it'll be like a week old. So, I mean...
Dude, the best thing about all this is the verdict hearing. The turds lawyers were like, Johnny Depp isn't even here to hear the verdict. Dude's partying in the UK playing guitar with Beck.
Who cares, dude? Like, he has the internet.
Clearly, he knew he won.
Yeah, like the dude was like, as soon as it came out, like he was walking out of a pub somewhere.
The Me Too movement. There's parts of it I fully am on board with, and I paused for a reason. But some news person came out and was like, what a huge blow to all the good things that maybe have come out of that is the turd hopped aboard that train and said, I'm getting paid, baby. And instead, we blew the train up. I'm speaking in first person like I was a part of this trial because I think a part of my soul was his lawyer number 3.
But today we move off of our the last of our Johnny Depp trial talk.
No, we're still on it, man. Let me tell you, what a Templar.
We're still on
What
it.
a Templar. Amber Heard, she's a Templar. Johnny Depp, definitely an assassin. He's part of the Creed. He knows what's up.
Oh, yeah. But we're talking about Assassin's Creed. We're on a Michael Fassbender kick, apparently.
You know what? From last week, what an actor.
Oh, yeah.
I got problems with this movie. But
well, like I texted you last night, like I gave up halfway through. Like I started cleaning my ceiling fans, dude.
But you know what? This is hey, you know what? What a pain in the butt. How do you do that?
The one in my bedroom, I just got on my bed. The one in the living room, I had to bring out my ladder. So
what you just said was more exciting. This movie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you want to do is get a wet rag because if you don't, it's gonna like just throw the dust everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So.
When we moved into this house, it was new, which fortunate. It's a new house, but construction dust was wild for the first like 3 months. Man, holy cow! Our bed would just be covered in this like. It was like not heroin, cocaine. I don't know what. It's just awful. But yeah. But what like back in the 80s, 90s, I don't remember when the Super Mario Brothers came out, the movie.
It's like the 90s, I think.
Okay. Yeah, early 90s. Somewhere around there. That movie sucked.
Yeah, it was bad.
Now you have video game movies that should be good. The formula's there. You have incredible actors. You have money to do this. You kind of have a story that they didn't go with. It's garbage. It's like hot balls of fire.
Yeah, like even a lot of people like that Uncharted movie that Tom Holland just did.
Hadn't seen it, man. I refuse. I refuse.
I have no interest to see it.
I'll tell you, not Corridor Crew, but YouTube. Brandon Fraser did a fan film for it.
I remember, with Nathan Fillion and
Nathan Fillion is what I meant to say, not Brandon Fraser. Holy cow. Sorry, Brandon Fraser's stuck on my mind right now. I read an article right before this. Yeah, no. Whew, sorry. Why didn't they just go with that? Why'd they have to? I don't know. You get Marky Mark.
They wanted a young Nathan Drake, and Tom Holland already works for Sony.
So much like this movie, great transition. You've got an incredible story. You've got an incredible basis. And instead, we're going to do this. We're not going to do it. The people that are fans of this, nah, we'll do this. Kind of like, I'd forget the comparison. I don't know if you talked about this fully. My brain's flipping because I listened to the episode 2 weeks ago, your Mortal Kombat episode. Why did they introduce this new random character?
Yeah.
Which, hey, I love that movie. It's okay.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to see a second really bad. But this kind of suffered that worse. Like, they made that work out. This one, whole new thing. Like, did you ever play this game or anything?
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played them all up until the Ancient Greece one.
You said that last week. Sorry.
And I did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I think we quit recording.
Yeah. But yeah, I played them all up until the Ancient Greece one because that just didn't... I saw like footage of that. Like, there was no hidden blade. And when you opened up the map, there was way too much stuff to do. My two favorite are Black Flag and Origins.
Black Flag was good. Origins was, they're both good.
Yeah.
And I say all that not to be nerdy, but there's a pretty good story.
Same creative team on both of those.
I mean, as a screenwriter, you've got the stuff to just kind of autoplay. Why didn't you do that?
Well, the synopsis of this one has one of, just like with Mortal Kombat, one of the worst named characters I've ever heard. Callum Lynch explores the memories of his ancestor Aguilar de Nera and gains the skills of a master assassin before taking on the secret Templar Society. It's that boring.
I'm already depressed. Which, the games at some point followed historical things.
Yes, they did.
There was an actual legitimate historical tie-in to a lot of things. This movie,
the first, actually from 2 all the way up until, I didn't like the French Revolution one, but positive and negative reviews. The positive from IndieWire, David Eckerlich. I'm butchering people's names left and right on all these things.
I'm happy you, not me.
Declaring Assassin's Creed to be the best video game movie ever made is the kind of backhanded compliment that sounds like hyperbole, but the description fits the bill on both counts. Regardless of what you call this particular aggressively uninviting nonsense, the fact of the matter is that it's the only blockbuster of 2016 that left me desperate for a sequel. And I remember that. That was a thing in 2016. Like, there was like stinker after stinker.
Yeah, it's a bad year, but this thing profited. It was a success. It was a box office success, not even like home release success. Yeah. I think it doubled its money.
I saw it in the theater.
This was the first time I saw it. I was going to see it in the theater. I don't know why I didn't, but...
For some reason, I own this movie, so...
For that being a positive review, that's how you know how bad this really is.
Yeah.
By the way.
The negative review. Slant Magazine. Aaron Riccio. The film ends up with both blurry action and often looks digitally faked, and a fractious plot that's stuck over explaining itself.
All right, I got a problem with that one. So I watched this on YouTube TV for free for 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it's free in 480. So I went, no, I'm going to rent this and let it be in HD or close.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I got to say for this movie is there's not a lot of CGI in this movie.
No.
I mean, there is, but like, I think I looked it up.
Mostly like the eagle and the establishing shots and stuff like that.
I'm looking at my notes because I did some research. Like 80% of it was shot on camera. not CGI. And there's a world record at some point, I think.
But see,
of
this is like the same director and 2 stars with Fassbender and Marion Cotillard as that were like that did Macbeth.
Yeah, and Fassbender apparently like requested that she was in it.
Yeah, I think it was like I think Fassbender was a producer on this movie.
Yeah, he was.
And I kind of think he kind of talked the director and Marion Cotillard into doing this before they did Macbeth, or after they did Macbeth. I can't remember which was which.
From what I read, Fassbender was like, I really want to do a sci-fi movie, but I want it to be based on science. And this one spoke to him, which a phenomenal actor. I mean, incredible.
Which I think this movie is better if you take out that sci-fi element.
Yeah.
And you just do, because the best part of the games is when you're in the past and just make like an Assassin's Creed movie about the Assassin Brotherhood. You don't need this future, the relative that is, being shot into the past through genetic memories. You don't need that.
I think what would have been killer is they flipped the script some. I think they did a lot more in the world, not in the past.
Yeah.
If this movie went like, there's a there's a Matthew McConaughey movie that came out where he's on a boat. Serenity, 2019. It was Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, and it was
so
billed
the movie's
as like he throws his wife off a boat, but it's like a big.
It's a video game. Not to ruin the movie for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you care if I ruin the movie for you?
No, it sounds like a terrible movie.
It is pretty terrible, but the concept's cool. Like you watch this entire movie, and then 3/4 through, you realize, oh, this kid's programmed a video game that has his dad's conscience in it.
Which that feels like it was like the Matthew McConaughey on a boat, almost about to kill his wife. Sounds like a script that was combined with another script.
Yeah.
For that.
Yep. But the worst way to get around to it is this movie would have been so much better is if you watch all the historical stuff and it like some point in time something happens and then you go boom and you realize,
because that's what the game does in the very first game. You start out as the assassin and then like
Desmond Miles is the guy's name,
and then all of a sudden it like flips and then you're like brought into the real world as Desmond Miles, which was a pretty great twist when I remember first playing it.
Yeah, and Altair.
It was Altair was the first one.
Altair should have just stuck with that.
Yeah.
Like this story, it starts off with the stupid ceremony where they cut his finger off to make him a part of the creed. Which
I like that scene.
Oh, it was dope. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it's bonkers because Preston, I've gotten to worn one of those gloves in real life for an Assassin's Creed Valhalla event at GameStop. You don't need to cut your finger off to do it.
No, but I mean, that's kind of explained in Assassin's Creed Origins because, like, the first assassination you do, the guy, like, when he's pulling out the blade, accidentally cuts his finger off, and then they just made that part of being an assassin is you cut that ring finger off.
He'll never go to college.
Yeah.
That's not where you wear that.
He was also an ancient Egyptian, so, I mean, I don't think college existed back then.
No, just pyramids, but you get the that was a good scene. I started that and was like, this movie's got hope. This movie has hope. But then you get this stupid flashback or flash forward to Cal finding his mom dead.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happens.
Crazy.
I missed the part here. Like,
I'm crazy.
I didn't know what he went to jail for.
So lonely.
I'm gonna steal that audio and loop it.
Yeah.
I was still halfway into this though of you know the fake death, and he goes somewhere else. I'm like, all right, yeah, they did a good job with this. And then everything else after that falls apart.
Yeah, it just becomes a very boring mess towards the rest.
The middle and the end.
Like if we're gonna spend this much time in what I'll call the future, why is he on death row? Who did he kill? Why did he kill him?
Killed a pimp.
Okay.
He murdered a pimp. That's what I had to go back and look it up, or rewatch part of it.
Yeah.
It's like a throwaway line. He killed a pimp he was prostituting someone.
Okay.
And he
Well,
killed a pimp.
let's see more of who Callum Lynch is instead of.
Better yet, let's give him an award.
Because our first introduction to him is death row inmate. I'm like, okay, why is this our hero? You've got to explain.
Yeah,
that.
you have no reason to like this guy at all besides Michael Fassbender.
Right.
That's it.
And also it's the worst animus I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like in the game, you just lay on a table. This, like, for some reason, they felt like they had to strap him in, and he has to do all the same stuff that the assassin does.
All right, let's go ahead and hit this. I got a problem with this. How the devil does this guy climb 7 stories? I counted 7 stories at some point. It's a 3-story building he's in. What does the animus do? Does it just?
I guess it just like makes it does that little hologram thing, and you're just like slowly, the hologram slides down, and you're just floating there. And
yeah, I was toast after seeing that. I went, yeah, this movie is really gonna suck. This is really gonna be good.
But after he spends a little while in the animus, because like he goes on death row, he gets put to death, and then apparently somehow Abstergo was able to keep him from dying and brought him to their facility, and because they know that he's related to Aguilar or whatever.
Sorry, I just fell asleep thinking about this movie. You said all that, and my brain went, yeah, that's what happened. And I love that, like, they shove him in the machine to, like, make him hooked on it, like it's a drug. But
because after a while, it's a thing from the games, it's like the bleeding effect starts coming through, and there's certain parts during the game where like you play as like the future person, and the skills from the assassin kind of bleed over into him,
which made great sense. This movie, it's done lazily. This is when they start throwing a lot of the terms from the video game of like, you got to hit synchronous, whatever the came into that way too optimistic that I knew I was talking about. You're in sync or whatever else. I don't know. It's just when it's like, this is just a very, very lazy attempt.
Yeah.
Like this is its own standalone thing, and they made it fit in this story. But you do get I can't remember the character's name. Marion, her dad's Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jeremy Irons is in this. All right. There's some hope.
It's like, oh wow, someone's collecting a paycheck.
And there is no reason this movie shouldn't have been better. Those 3 people, this should have been bonkers.
Like based on that Macbeth movie that Michael Fassbender did. Like, give me that, like that aesthetic for an Assassin's Creed movie.
Or at least make, like, when you go to the old world, change your filmography, make it like starkly different instead of this weird dark. Can't see anything, like it's just dumb.
Yeah, because we jump to the assassins part, and like they're looking for this. Who is this prince? What is the conflict? I know they say Spanish Inquisition, but who are? I mean, of course, the bad guys are the Templars, of course, but like, who are these people? Why do we care if the Spanish take over or not?
I think that's where this whole. Besides it being boring, there is nothing you care about in this movie.
Right.
Like there's nothing to even remotely be like,
if you're going to jump back and forth like that, there's no reason for me to care for any character that's in danger or is almost killed.
No, the entire flashback sequences, they're cool action.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple scenes that were incredible, but like, I couldn't tell you who they were fighting or why they were fighting them other than they helped the Templars.
Yeah. But the best action sequence in this whole thing is like a carriage chase. That was good. Prince is in like a cage on the back of a cart. But even then, it's with all the great stunt work going around, it's so choppily edited. Like it just keeps cutting every time somebody takes a hit. It cuts to this angle, cut to this angle, and I'm like, this is too much. Stop.
My dad will hate this comment, but like it's worse than a Jason Bourne movie. Like,
Oh, come on now.
you don't need that many cuts. I love those movies, by the way. Definitely not hating it. But they
that was like shaky cam, and like it did start like the shaky cam phenomenon.
Yeah.
And there is that one bad sequence in the second Bourne movie where they're in that house in Germany.
Is that the toaster scene?
Yeah, that's the worst scene in the whole thing.
There's 33 cuts in like 15 seconds of action.
But like that was like shaky cam done right in those movies.
Yeah, and I'm down with it. Those are some of my favorite movies, period. I mean, phenomenal. But this, it sucks, man. Like you've got some of the best stunt people you're watching it, and they're killing it. The choreography's incredible. Everything looks good. The editing's just awful, and not a lot of CGI. It's like backgrounds,
right?
And that's it. So
I feel like it
should have been incredible.
A movie like this should be more practical.
Yeah,
even though it's based off a video game.
Yeah, which is pretty great. You know, you didn't talk about this in your Mortal Kombat, but those fireballs and those lightnings and those ISIS, those are all real.
Yeah.
The prince gets on that sick carriage ride.
Mm-hmm.
He gets knocked out of it again. You kind of meet the like helpers,
the big bad henchmen
in the real world or the back world.
In the back world.
Yeah,
that's who they're fighting through that whole sequence.
And then you go to the present, and you see all the. I mean, like later you figure out they're part of the Creed as well. What terrible! Not that they were bad actors, just like all the assisting people for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dude in the cafeteria that asks him what he wants, chicken or steak. The chicken's really good. Awesome actor.
Oh yeah, he died recently.
No way.
Shoot, what's his name? Yeah, it was a big deal.
Man,
I looked it up last night.
Michael K. Williams?
Yes.
Oh my God, man. Dadgum, he did die.
He did.
I trusted you when you said that, but I've never watched The Wire.
He was. Did you ever watch Lovecraft Country?
No, I still want to watch that too.
You need to watch that. Like
he was in Sopranos.
It's even weirder than Raised by Wolves.
Man, 3 episodes away from finishing that, by the way. It is hard. Man, that someone's gonna call me racist. Is it fentanyl related? Or cocaine, why he died?
No. I don't think. I just know he died.
It doesn't matter. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an actor, man.
But
I hated how little they used him in this movie.
Yeah. Because he's great.
That was like, man, this guy's incredible. Like good chemistry, everything looks good.
And I guess
man, they just there.
Based off all the conversations he has with those people, I would assume that the bleeding effect is like in full throttle for them because they already have their skills and everything.
But that's, I know you said you checked out halfway through.
I did.
We're getting there. Did they explain that about them? That
well, I mean, they explain it to him when he gets up after the first time he used the Animus and he's in that bedroom where all those people are watching him. And then he sees.
I'm an idiot. I think I just assumed that didn't happen to them, just him, but that makes a lot more sense.
That takes place right before he goes to the cafeteria. And that's when she explains the bleeding effect. And then
that's when I blacked out then.
You infer from the conversations he has with the other people in the cafeteria that, they've already gone through the bleeding effect and they're full on.
All right. Well, I'm going to mark all my notes out because I had a whole debacle of like, what the heck? But that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, he goes back in after that.
Yeah.
And, a really cool action scene. You get the stupid, like saying fatality in a Mortal Kombat movie. The leap of faith.
Which is a staple in any Assassin's Creed game. Or any Assassin's
you hated it. At some point in time, you're like, I hate these things. This is stupid. I've done this 1,000 times.
Like as soon as you get initiated, that's the first thing you do is you go up on a high point and you jump off into a hay bale.
I think to date, that's still the highest free fall performed by a stuntman.
Yeah, that was practical.
Insane. I looked it up. 3 seconds, 61 miles an hour on impact speed.
Yeah, like
I mean, like they went all out on practicality, and it sucks. I mean, it really sucks for the stunt guys because the rest of the movie didn't.
Yeah, because
it wasn't even like a stuntman movie, like a Hardcore Henry.
I would love to see one
it?
of the John Wick directors like do an Assassin's Creed movie.
I will tell you one cool thing. All the action, I know this isn't necessarily related to this point in the movie, but it really clicked on me. You can have a stealthy movie in this period of time. There's no guns.
Right.
If you sneak up behind someone and stab them, someone across the room can't shoot you. So all the sequences were smartly done. Like, yeah. And then you get crossbows at some point in this movie, I think, too. But
yeah. Which is dumb, and I hate to go back to the games, but sometimes in the games they make you try to upgrade your blade so that when you stab somebody instantly in the back of the neck, they die. But I feel like no matter a blade, I don't care how big a person is, if I run a blade through the back of their neck into their spinal cord, they're gonna die.
Yeah, I agree. That's stupid. Like,
yeah. But
now I'm really thinking. Never mind. I'm thinking to myself I shouldn't. I'm in my head. I'm like, if you stab anyone in the neck, would they die? But yeah,
who knows?
You probably would. But you get the leap of faith. Carl, that's when he goes paralyzed. When he lands, he goes paralysis completely, and they put Preston. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
To get this guy to paralysis, they put him in a cross-shaped cage. Lower him strapped in underwater, and then bring him up. And it's like, oh, you're gonna like make his body wake up because you're drowning him. At first, I went, oh, that's some healing pool, like
some magical science healing pool or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Angelina Jolie, the
and Wanted
Bullets movie. Wanted, thank you.
God, it's a good movie.
Could have done this too, related to X-Men, by the way.
Yeah. We might.
Hey, I'm not opposed. Good, it's a better movie than this.
Yeah,
but I thought it was like a healing pool. No. They're just gonna drown him and make his body wake up.
They're trying to wake the nerves up. Wake up.
Oh, and you get the stupid twist that you knew from the beginning of Carl's mom was an assassin.
And his entire family was an assassin, basically.
Yeah, and Cal at this point's got a new hope in life, and it's like, I'm gonna find the apple. It's just like, man, we don't care. But and then like at that point in time, my Michael almost said Michael Irons. That's a guy that I work with. Jeremy Irons is Alan Rickman, not Alan Rickman.
Yep.
His project gets shut down. They shut down the Animus.
Yeah.
And
the main Templars.
That's when Sophia is the girl's name, his daughter, and she starts questioning, like, okay, my dad's crazy actually, or he's insane.
Yeah, so I work for an insane organization.
Oh yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, that wants world domination.
But then, honestly, you just get a bunch of bad action scenes and terrible story points.
Yeah.
At some point in time, Aguilar gives the apple to Christopher Columbus.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. It was like,
which I guess is the
hey,
that was a dream. That was a dream for you, Preston.
While you're on your way to like genocide an entire nation of people, hide this apple for us.
Oh my god. USA, Preston. Oh my gosh, this podcast is over.
He landed in South America.
All right, yeah, that's cool.
And said, I'm in India. You're Indians. And they were like, no, we're not.
Yeah. I figured that was going to be where the sequel came from.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
They'll probably find a different actor.
Uh,
which I doubt this is ever going to get a sequel.
this is kind of one of those weird, I know it's not the end yet, kind of one of those weird circumstances. It was a huge success, but it was responded to so negatively, they killed it.
Yeah.
And normally, no, they had success, they'll risk it.
Yeah,
They might
usually
get paid again.
they'll ignore like the criticism if it makes a bunch of money.
Which, not to be a nerd, I hate Ubisoft. Electric Arts, EA, and Ubisoft, they ruin everything.
They are a terrible company, but they make a couple of fun games, which sucks.
They do. Which, this was Ubisoft Motion Pictures, which I pulled up before this. They're still in production. They still exist.
I'm sure they do.
They have movies coming out. Had a movie came out last year.
I would love like a Watch Dogs, like Assassin's Creed thing.
I'm killing for a Splinter Cell. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Tom Hardy's supposed to be in a Splinter Cell movie.
I think he's in a Ghost Recon.
He's been attached to something forever.
Yeah, I think that's right. But there's some great games. I mean, I hate them, but
they're a terrible company who pushes microtransactions and now NFTs.
Preston,
for all you crypto bros out there,
I hate to do this. What the hell is an NFT?
Who
I kind of know, but like, I take Keanu Reeves' approach with that, man. When we talked about it on The Matrix, like him giggling at like the crypto bro that's like, Keanu, what do you think about these digital arts that are limited? And he's like, digital arts that can be copied easily?
Yeah, that I can literally copy and paste because there is no copyright law that protects them at all.
Let's talk about some. Yeah, on top of that, Seth Green has been writing this.
Yeah, and it got stolen from him.
This is ludicrous, man. Look, I'm not trying to sound like an old man, but holy cow, give me cash. It's paper.
Yeah.
I don't. Anyways, this movie was sucked. Christopher Columbus takes it.
Oh, we're honestly just trying to fill time at this point, people. Because
I mean, the movie's over. I mean, like it's legitimately done.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that happens after this is Jeremy Irons, who is Alan, he gets murdered.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender kills him.
As a now assassin who has all the skills of his ancestor through genetic memories, which I looked up last night was a form of science at one point, but a lot of people have disproven it.
Yeah. I know we just skirted the tail end of this movie, man.
It's like it's Lucy movie that Scarlett Johansson was in. That uses a theory that we only use 10% of our brains, and that if we unlock the other 90%, we could control people with our minds and time and travel through time. And
didn't they disprove we only use 10% of our brain?
Yeah, a long time ago, way before that movie came out.
Dang it. Man, I've been trying to unlock that other quarter so I can see all the colors correctly because I don't see them right.
Is that a brain thing, though? Like, is color blindness like a brain thing, or is it just eye thing?
Yeah, I've been dropped too many times on the head as a kid. Here's a terrible story. Cut it if you want to. My mom didn't listen to this, so I can tell the story.
Okay.
When I was a younger kid, my mom was going to pick me up and put me on her shoulders. And I remember this. I don't remember how old I was. And she bashed my head into a ceiling fan, shattering the bulb and everything else. Didn't get cut. But ever since that moment, I don't see color right. So it is a brain thing. Yeah, probably. I think it'd be hereditary, but it's like a genetical. That's not a word. A genetic based thing. But like, if I do this, for all the people on the podcast, I'm covering one eye. It's all one color. If I do this, it's a completely different set of colors.
Okay.
I do this, it's pretty close to right. So, yeah. So, anyways, this podcast is brought to you by iVision.com.
Well,
Get on your highs.
I do have one question for us.
Yeah.
Does Michael Fassbender have a good American accent?
No. I
Yeah.
don't think he does. I thought about that the whole movie. I think it's passable.
Yeah.
But my problem is his natural voice is just beautiful.
Yeah. It is.
Not what I meant to say, but
I know what you're trying to say. Like it's
I think about him in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man! Like, why would you not make this guy Irish German?
Yeah.
Just to let him be his own voice. Like, screw it. I don't care. I don't care if you move the entire scenario of he's not an American. Like, no.
Who cares?
Let Michael Fassbender just be Macbeth.
Yeah.
Just let him just be this. I just hate it. We talked about it last week. I don't think the guy can pick a good movie. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I think
feel like
12
he
Years
got
a Slave is awesome.
tricked into producing this movie as well.
Yeah. I think he got tricked into it by Ubisoft because they said you're the only person we considered to do this.
Yeah.
And I think he took advantage of it and said, "Well, I'm going to produce."
And he said, "Well, you know what? Here's which I don't blame him. Here's the number. If I'm the only one, you've given up your entire leverage, so give me my money."
So, fun fact, Michael Fassbender is an extraordinary race car driver.
I believe it.
He drove, I'm sure there's a proper name, the European Le Mans circuit, like 2 years ago. And he got 4th place.
Good for him.
In one of them.
He's got a beautiful wife, too.
Just a second.
Alicia Vikander.
Oh, that's his wife? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
She also has a middle-of-the-road video game movie in Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a terrible coincidence there.
Yeah.
Tomb
Raider is actually better than this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was in Jason Bourne.
Yep.
If I remember right.
She was in the fourth.
The Jason Bourne from one.
Yeah, where Facebook is the enemy, which it is.
Wasn't she in Green Knight?
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
I have not. Is it worth watching?
Yes.
See, this is where people really are tuning into. This is the point where I just ask you random questions.
Yeah.
She was also in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, I love Guy Ritchie.
I did.
I love Guy Ritchie, but
that was not good.
Yeah. He needs to make a Guy Ritchie movie.
Also has a horrible after effect of having Armie Hammer in it.
Is Armie Hammer the one that wants to eat his family? Is that?
Well, no, he gets really horny by wanting to eat people.
Yeah. So I thought that was Henry Cavill. And
nope.
I got really confused. Like, I thought we killed this guy off.
Henry Cavill is a wonderful gentleman who would never eat people.
No, and he is a nerd, man.
Yeah.
I watched a video of him going through the Warhammer 40,000 studios, and it's like a child just drooling over looking at Legos. It's incredible.
He's not good at building a PC, but, bless him.
At least he tried.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to him for like putting that on the internet. Like, because I went through the same thing when I built mine. I was like, does this go? How do I do this?
I just realized, sorry, I mean, this is not related to Assassin's Creed at all, but
well, we haven't talked about Assassin's Creed the last 10 minutes. So
yeah, I felt so much better in life. Death on the Nile. Did you watch that?
Yeah,
too?
It was.
Wasn't Henry Cavill in that movie?
No, that was Armie Hammer.
I mean, Armie Hammer. Sorry. Did they know about how crazy the guy is?
All that stuff came out because that was one of those movies affected by COVID, and
okay,
all the stuff about Armie Hammer came out during COVID.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that sucks, man.
At least he was the bad guy in the movie. So
yeah, that makes it more likable.
At the end, he's one of the murderers. Spoiler alert.
Everybody died.
Yeah.
Just like the hopes and dreams of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It will never come back up. I don't see this thing ever being redone. Just
lots of good stunt work. Would work a lot better if it was just like the assassin stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as they start, where you text me and said you kind of dozed off or quit caring.
Yeah.
All this gobbledygook of I run a corporation and I do this.
Yeah, it's like, who cares,
who
bro?
cares? Go stab someone, dude. I
Yeah.
came here to see dudes jump out of stuff. I came here to see eagles. I came here to see dead dudes. I came here to see hot chicks. It's not a part of the game at all, but I just threw it in there for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see Jeremy Irons talk a little bit more. That's bad Jeremy Irons.
That assassin suit is probably the best one.
Oh, it's rad.
I'll always wear it, and when I play Assassin's Creed Origins, I'll always wear that one.
I don't know if it's because of the first one that we saw.
Yeah,
but it's the best, 100%.
Yeah,
it's just such a rad concept, and you killed it with stupid this is like Mission Impossible too.
Yeah. Except
a lot of dumb exposition.
This one I had fond memories for some reason. I had like a memory of like really liking it, but I hadn't seen it in like 6 years. So,
and let me go ahead and say, I just dragged this movie through dirt. I feel like,
yeah,
I've seen worse movies.
I have. Oh, definitely.
I watched this and was like, oh, okay, cool, interesting. But I think it's just because of the people, like the star talent.
Yeah, I mean,
you're in. The writing sucked.
That's definitely worth, at least turning it on for a few minutes and saying, "Oh, yeah, he's doing pretty good." I'm really excited to see The Northman, though.
Yeah, I wanted to see it in theaters. I didn't.
I didn't get a chance to.
I missed the opportunity, but yeah, I'm excited. I saw. Did you watch Valhalla back in the day? There was a movie that came out that was oh my god, it's Mads Mikkelsen is in it.
Oh yeah, that's that really weird one where
it's screwed. It is screwed up. But my to be a bigger nerd, my heritage is Norwegians. So my dad is really, really into all the Viking lore or Norwegian stuff like that. So it was stuck in my brain always of all that stuff. So I want to see The Northman really bad.
But you don't look like Alexander Skarsgård.
That's him and James Bond.
Which I think he would make a good James Bond, even though he's Norwegian.
Michael Fassbender?
No, Alexander Skarsgård.
I think Michael Fassbender would be
I think he would too. I think he would kill it.
Yeah. He's got him in Inglourious Bastards. Like that whole scene, I said, yeah, he should definitely take over Daniel Craig. And I'm pretty sure Michael Fassbender actually likes guns, unlike Daniel Craig, that jerk.
Well, apparently the director of that most recent James Bond movie apparently likes to groom young girls or is really into young girls.
I don't know anything about this, and I am not searching it.
Cary Fukunaga. He's apparently not a good dude. But anyway, that's Assassin's Creed.
It sucked.
Hate to end on a bummer note like that, but that's just the way it is.
No. Preston ended with this.
Okay.
Johnny Depp's winner. Johnny Depp is. Yes. I can't say that to the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. So.
Johnny Depp got $50 million today from Amber Heard.
She sucks. Turd.
He's got to pay her $2 million, but who cares?
Yeah. Man, that's a lot of money.
If there's anything you can take from this episode of Assassin's Creed is Johnny Depp is going to act again, hopefully.
And you know what? As a guy that's done a terrible bad movies, I'm excited to see him in something else because pretty good.
Go watch Pirates of the Caribbean. Go watch Public Enemies. Watch.
Better yet, go listen to the episode of where we talked about Pirates of the Caribbean because that's entertaining.
Yeah. That movie's not entertaining. The first 3 of those movies are entertaining, but that one's not good.
No, it's terrible.
But that is it for this week. We'll do something next week. I don't know about the week after because I'll be at the beach. So
Mutiny.
So we will leave you with if you have a suggestion, you can send that to secondtakemoviespod@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at Second Take Movies. Jake, again, thanks for sitting through this.
Yeah.
You kind of drove it this week because I was off somewhere else when I was watching this movie.
Look, this was not Death Note. This was not Eternals. This was not.
This was at least. I would say this is better than Death Note.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
this is like a notch below Mission Impossible 2.
Yes.
Yeah,
we can give it that. So whatever we gave Mission Impossible, 1 point deducted on this movie.
Yeah, but then 0.2 added for Fassbender.
Yes.
This is an Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation. He gets a point. She takes 0.2 away. Big deal.
So we'll see you next week with another movie, whatever that happens to be.